Hi guys, here on another episode with Eli and Mike, and we'd love to bring you guys to your attention. We have two amazing guests today. We have Janet Kano and Trish Steele. Welcome, ladies.
Definitely. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Thank you so
So
much.
excited.
And I know you girls are already in the fame, already out there on red carpets. I remember we were talking about that. But thanks for coming to our Rodeo Beverly Hills office. Well, I mean, the studio.
Yes,
But
definitely.
we are in love with your story.
Oh my God,
We
so amazing.
have been talking about it for like the
Yes.
longest time, and we need a breakthrough. What exactly started it all,
Right.
and how that passion has been like radiating to everybody outside of everything you've been doing from your books and so forth. So
Yes.
we're
Maybe,
thrilled.
maybe we can start off with how did you guys meet and start this journey together?
Yes.
I know you are the founder of Safe Passages and partner with Safe Passages, but how did you guys meet to build this bond together to help women empowerment in everything you guys are doing?
Well, you know what? I think the best person to explain that how we met would be Janet. Because Janet remembers it so clear because I'm like, I've been around too long. I'm not- But you know, I don't remember everything. I have to give it to the younger generation.
Oh my goodness. Love it.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Janet.
Yes, love that.
So I actually met Trish through one of my mentors. My best
Okay.
friend was actually 90 when he passed away.
Oh,
His name
wow.
was Don Donner.
Okay.
And he
love
was
this.
my coach and mentor. He was a
Oh.
sport mentor. And
Mhm.
so I was going through a point in my life where he said, you need to do more in the community so that you
Okay.
can focus more on growing your business or
Oh,
figure out what
wow.
you need to do, you know.
Yes.
He was like 80 at the time, so he was
Uh-huh.
really guiding and coaching. And
Amazing.
He was very successful in his right, and he wanted us to meet. He thought it would be great for us to
Wow.
Hey, I
connect. So
love
he
this.
was doing some score counseling
Right.
with one of my good friends, Shayna, who was the secretary at the organization.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, fine, let's go. And then my friend Shayna said to me, Janet, we need help at an event volunteering.
Yes.
I was like, what
Yes.
am I gonna do in a domestic violence organization?
Oh my
Are you
God.
kidding?
This-
I was like nervous and
Got
scared.
it. It's
then-
something you haven't got into yet?
Mm-mm.
Got it.
No.
Okay.
Latinos talking about trauma? Come
Right.
on.
Okay. Okay.
No,
Thank you.
We keep that
So
inside.
true.
Right?
Oh my God. Right.
We let him mentally break us down.
And turn it into
True.
jokes so we could cope.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we just did right now.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You know.
So she put on this event at this
Okay.
theater.
Oh my God.
And it was the most beautiful, decadent.
Oh my
you know,
goodness.
it was a fashion show with all these and I'm looking at my friend like, are you sure that we're
Wow.
at the right place?
Yeah.
Like you said,
Domestic
I mean,
violence.
I expected people, just drama, a
Uh-huh.
novela, getting beat
Right.
up. Like
No,
I didn't know
yeah,
what to
yeah,
expect. And it was
exactly.
just, it was beautiful. And I'm like, okay, well, so from there, I just gradually started volunteering.
Yes.
Because I was still not really understanding what the nonprofit foundation world was.
Got
And
it.
so I just, did my time. I just kind of, gave up my time.
Did you feel like it was your calling, like or at that time was it just more
No.
like I don't know, we'll see
Yeah.
if I should try this.
Do you know how many times I gave up? Like I almost I was like, there is no way I can handle this. I don't have the
Okay.
education for this. I don't have the background for this. I mean,
Got it.
there'd be women walking in black and blue
Oh my
with
goodness.
broken noses.
In our-
They're
in our-
in
Really?
our office.
Really?
Like, it was, yeah.
That-
Oh my goodness.
And there was many times I'm like, oh no, I can't do this. And then one of them would walk
Mhm.
in and I was like, how could I possibly not do this? Like, how
Wow.
could I not do this?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So it
And-
just really started volunteering.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And then maybe you since you are the founder of Safe
I know.
Passages, how about you tell us, our audience what Safe Passages is and what it's all about.
Right.
That way we all know, what Janet got herself into when she joined
Yes.
Safe Passages, which is so amazing. You guys have to hear this. Oh my God.
Yes.
So tell us about Safe Passages, please.
So, Safe Passage is a nonprofit that saves the lives of women and children that have been victims of abuse, trauma, sex trafficking, and domestic violence. So, any type of trauma that they've gone through, we take them in and heal them from the inside out.
Wow.
They get the counseling, they get the mentorship, they get these experts, entrepreneurs that come in and give it their time and service to train them to be self-sufficient. We also help them if they don't have a computer. We give them a laptop computer and give
Wow.
computer skills.
This is
And the whole
amazing.
goal is, and we also at the end, we groom them to
Mhm.
walk the runway of hope
Wow.
so that they can say they did it.
Wow.
Overcame
Wow.
and healed from the past trauma and abuse.
My God.
And so it all goes back to in my early ages as 10 years old, I was molested and abused by my stepfather.
Oh my God.
And I'll never forget being at
God bless.
home and the horrible things he said to me. He said, you never be anything, you're pretty with no brains, you don't have no, you have no capability of making anything out of your life. And I told him, I said to him one day, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
You go. You did.
And I did. I
Wow,
worked
yes.
on myself so that I wasn't suffering from my hearing loss, my speech impairment, all the trauma I went through with my stepfather. And I chose taking steps forward to build my self-esteem,
Wow.
to really find people to help me. And God brought people in my life to help me, open
Wow.
doors for me. People
Wow.
that saw a
Yeah.
vision for my life and saw the talents that I had and helped me to practice those talents and make a career for myself.
I love how
And
you
that
stood
was-
up to
yeah,
that.
It's
Oh my
amazing. It's
God,
like
that's
all of us. You know, we
amazing.
all have different talents
Yes.
inside of us,
Right.
and a lot of us don't utilize
Mhm.
what the natural talents and the capability that we have.
Yes.
And so that field of work, I went straight to Hollywood because they saw the gift and talents I had to be a model,
Mhm.
to also be a makeup artist, a
Yes.
hairstylist. I did it all. So I
Wow.
became a beauty consultant for Hollywood.
Amazing.
By the time
Amazing.
I was 21.
Oh my goodness.
And
Wow.
so that's where I got all my skills.
Mhm.
And I did it for 25 years. I was my own entrepreneur as a beauty consultant, and people would hire me from the studios to big cosmetic companies like Lancome, Estee Lauder. All of them wanted me to
Wow.
be a makeup
Gosh,
artist
wow.
and show these women how to feel and look
This is
good.
amazing.
You know, how to put on their makeup, how to
Yes.
what's in fashion, what
Mhm.
wasn't in fashion. You know, I did all of that for many years.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And then
I
one
love
day
it.
God spoke to me and said, Fred Hollywood, I want you to go knocking at these doors, at these shelters, share your testimony how I have
Oh my
healed you
gosh.
and brought you
Mm.
up for such a time as this to help those women that are stuck in these relationships and they're crying out for help.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
They're crying out for help.
Wow.
And it's not just the women, there's men and children involved.
Mhm.
Yes.
I've had
Yes.
so many people and men too that have been abused.
Amazing.
And it's been amazing
amazing.
what God has done. And that's what I did. So everything I learned, I just started paying it forward. And that's what I did for my woman.
Wow.
I mean, we have this incredible, that's why she couldn't believe it. When she came there, she said, it's
Yes.
like a beauty pageant. She's
Right.
like,
Right.
what is this? It's
I
got
love
Yeah.
these are women
Uh-huh.
that
uh-huh.
we have mentored and grown to
Wow.
walk the runway and to share the confidence
Wow.
that they've overcome.
What
Oh my
was
gosh.
there a moment when you going backwards back to when you said your stepfather, right?
Yeah.
When he was abusing you, was there a moment where you kind of stood up and said, this is the last straw, you're not doing this to me again? Do you recall a moment where maybe that's when you became this new version of yourself?
Yes. So what had happened is that after a year of being molested, I finally said, that's it. I went to tell my mom. My mom, she's the man she's in love with.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because my father died when I was 5. So she was left with a widow. She had 3 kids. She's a widow at the age of 21
Mhm.
with
Wow.
3 kids.
Wow.
So she didn't have any education, all of that. So here I am. She's with this, remarried 5 years later to a man she's totally mad and in love with.
Hmm.
And you got to deal with the own thing because he would tell me stuff like, oh, your mom doesn't want you to.
Wow.
If you say anything to her, he
Wow.
would tell me all these lies.
Wow.
Make me feel like
Okay.
I was just nothing. I was just a slave to the circumstances.
Right. Right.
See what
Right.
I mean?
Yes. Yes.
And so
yes.
finally, I just built up enough guts and I just said, no. I sat my mom down and I said this. And I was 12 years old at the time.
Okay.
I said, Mom, I want you to know what's going on with me.
Wow.
And then my mom told, well,
Wow.
Because
Yes. Of course. Of course.
she's
Of
in
course.
love with this.
Yes.
this man,
Yeah.
you know?
Definitely.
And that's what
Definitely.
happens in these
Mhm.
domestic
Right.
abusive relationships. You know,
Yes.
these women are actually in love with these men.
Right. Right.
You know, and
Exactly.
they don't
Yes.
know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
and
They're
they
like
don't know how to
blinded
walk.
by it, huh?
They're
Right.
holding on to the security they
Yes.
have
Yes.
with
Right.
them.
Yes.
See what I mean? And vice versa,
Mhm,
whatever it
mhm.
is. They're holding on to the security
Right.
of the heartfelt feelings that they created with them.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
And I can see how that impacts people. I mean, if you think about everybody that could be watching or might be watching and capturing this stuff on YouTube, there's so many beautiful people out there that are
Yeah.
their lives are being impacted, and
Yes.
they're staying silent because they're afraid of the repercussion
Right.
of what could happen to them. You know,
Yes.
it's scary actually.
And by you sharing this story, you know, to everyone and us, thank you so much, because it could help so many different individuals. So like Janet, obviously, you know, you hearing these stories, and I'm sure you've heard this story before, and you know, by hearing these stories, is that what helps you also say, you know what, I also want to make a difference. I learned about these people's lives. I need to, you know, be somebody like Trish to, you know, save others and, you know, make them better. And because again, you came into this safe passage, you know, you thought it was going to be, you know, damaged women all over the place, and you know, you walk in and there's runways, and you know, it's because you were able to, you know, help groom them, repair them, and now you're seeing these, you know, right.
All
And,
of us.
and so, you know, by being around this, is this something where you're just all in because of all the stories you have heard? Like, I have to ask that because, you know, there's going to be a lot of people watching this, and sometimes you just need to hear the story, and then that's when you can get involved. Is that what happened with you?
I started volunteering to not talk about what happened to me.
Okay.
So I was
Got
like,
it.
oh, okay. I mean,
Wow.
you know, we work with, like, you guys know, we work with a lot of high level entrepreneurs, like,
Yes,
right? Like
right.
we're like, our minds become so strong that we just push and push and push because
Wow.
we're grateful for what we're doing. We're grateful for what we have, and we just have to work, right?
Wow.
Of course.
How many times have you heard that? Like,
Yes.
just get to work. Nobody
Mhm.
cares. Work hard.
Sounds like us
Mhm.
every day.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
Yes,
just get to work.
Just get to
Yeah.
work.
Yes.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I never had to. It took me 7 years to tell her what happened to me.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So I was 7
Oh.
years volunteering, thinking, oh, I'm fine. There was always something in the back of my head, but it's
But
important.
I knew
for-
that she wasn't fine. I was
Oh,
trying to
wow.
figure out.
Okay, and it took 7
It
years.
took 7 years.
So it's a breakthrough here. Something.
Oh, huge. But
Wow.
you know, and this is something that I want people to understand is that safe passage. Yes, we help, but for some reason, I just kept hearing domestic violence. And so it's important for people to understand there's a difference between domestic violence could also be sexual abuse, could be mental abuse, could be financial abuse.
Mhm.
And so I was only categorizing
Got it.
like, okay, well,
Wow.
nobody hit me, but
Okay.
you know, I'm actually Latino. Like that was
Okay.
normal.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
so you know, it's like
we're like,
No,
okay, well,
yes.
that's just discipline, you
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel you. Yes.
But you know what it was? It was that little girl. It was Madeline.
Oh my God. Yes, we have to show you guys. CEO Kids. Can you tell us a little bit about this
Oh my
too? This
gosh.
is so beautiful. This is her daughter, and
Our beautiful little one. You know, Madeline, when she turned 3 years old, people would just be like, "Oh my gosh, she looks just like you. She's your mini me.
Mhm.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh."
yes.
definitely mini me.
Yes.
And I would just freeze.
Uh-huh.
I would freeze. And because of her, you know, I finally went to her in Linda and I just said, okay, something's wrong, but it still took me like a year to tell them the truth.
Yes.
And Linda, our previous our counselor, she, you know, she passed away, but she changed so many people's lives.
Wow.
And she did a type of therapy. It was sensory, it was kinetic sensory.
Wow.
And so she could actually, by your body movement, she could tell
Yes.
if you were lying.
That's
Wow.
right.
And this is the part that's
Right,
very
really.
important for people to
Yes.
understand. Your mind is so strong, but your body tells you everything.
It's so true.
So if you ever feel
Yes.
like a tightness when somebody that has hurt you, your body will remind you, but your
Yeah.
mind protects you and blocks you.
Right. We just saw a doctor
Yeah.
recently where they did this type of work on us as well, and you could put your arm out and literally he could say a certain type of word
Yes.
that maybe you went through, and you will just go dead.
Your
And-
muscles will
That's
recognize defense or
Yes,
offense.
it does.
Yes.
Or the
Recognizes
lies.
truth.
Yeah.
Yes,
It
the truth.
recognizes the truth.
Right.
True or false. It
Yes,
recognizes
it does.
does.
It definitely
really
does.
does.
Yes,
It's interesting how
definitely.
the body works that way.
And you know, you two are both sitting here as very powerful women here today. You know, and this is one of the first times we got to hear your story. You know, are we allowed to ask you? You know, what occurred with you, Miss
Well,
Janet?
she
or-
needs to share about her
Yes,
daughter. and
yes.
But finally came together. It's an amazing story.
So
Yeah.
Linda had a dream that I was supposed to be the next vice president of the organization, but no way was I even remotely ready.
Okay.
And so I just went to get help from her because I wanted to tell people, I wanted to express, I knew something happened, but I never, like, you don't understand it.
Got
So
it.
our mission is really to teach children the difference between what love and love is. Because there's some people that are in your space that are supposed to protect you and they're really not.
Right.
And so that was really, those are the things that you don't understand as children. Like you just think people love you, but they
Mhm.
show you a different way.
Yes. Right.
So-
Right.
You know, she turned 3.5 and I just knew I needed help. You know, I came from El Salvador. I was born in El Salvador, but I migrated here when I was about 5 years old. And so I always felt like, okay, maybe this is like what I had to pay to be here.
Got it.
You know,
Got
it's
it.
literally how I felt growing up. Like
Wow.
I was very quiet
Wow.
about
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. And
Right.
I felt like, okay, well, it's the price I had to pay.
Got it.
And when she turned 3.5, I just couldn't even hide it anymore. I was like, nobody knew. I was really losing it. I was
Okay.
just not, I was so
Your
scared.
health was
My
breaking
health,
down.
I
Wow.
was,
Oh my God.
I
It's
was,
falling apart.
I
Okay.
was, I mean, there
Wow.
was time, I mean, I was losing my sight. Like I'd
My
go to the doctor and
goodness.
they'd be like, Janet, you have 20/20 vision. I'm like, what do you mean? I cannot see.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
that's why healing through movement is so important, because you have to understand that your body tells you everything. But I didn't even know what that meant. I had never even been to counseling or
Yes.
anything. And
Yes.
when Linda was doing that, I still remember being so mad at her because she was
Uh-huh.
like, she was really sweet about it, but she was also like, Janet,
Mhm.
you're lying to me. And I'm like,
Wow.
I'm not lying
Yeah.
to you.
Yes.
Because you still protect people.
Yes.
Of
Because
course.
when you speak the truth, like people tell you the truth will set you free.
Yes.
Of course.
But they don't tell you what happens when you tell the truth.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Oh wow.
Like
Yeah.
it sets you free, but
Yeah.
it's still like
Right.
lingers,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Right.
So, tell
So I
me
asked for
too,
help.
What happened?
it was sexual abuse. And I just didn't understand. You know,
Oh
I
my
blocked it.
gosh.
It was
Oh my gosh.
it was several people, and when she was born, I was so scared it was going to happen to her.
Wow.
I was like, please God, give me a boy. And I mean,
Yes.
I told the
Wow.
doctor 3
Wow.
times, it's not a boy, it's a girl. It's not a girl, it's a boy.
Right.
There's no way God
Right.
could
Trying
do
to
that me.
manifest the
Right.
boy.
Oh
Right.
my
Just
God.
got a
Hard,
panic.
So
and-
scared.
Oh my god.
So
She was like,
Linda
Oh my
really helped me get
gosh.
through. And so now, like, our mission is to, you know, I just
protect our children.
protect our children.
Yes,
Like that
yes.
is so
Oh my
that's why we
gosh.
homeschool
That's
Madeline.
so amazing.
You know,
I
we
would-
homeschool her.
Like wow.
You know, CEO Kids is really
Yeah.
because she doesn't understand why more parents don't work with their children.
Of course.
Where, you know, a lot of parents will say, well, you know, I can't work with you. We can't do as much as we do because of you. I have to put you here, I have to put you there. But they don't
Mhm.
realize, like, chasing all of that money, all of that success, you have no idea
Mhm.
what's really happening to your children.
That makes
Wow.
perfect sense.
And so
Sure.
we just decided that, you know, I flipped my family's life upside down,
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
going through healing.
Mhm. Yes.
And I felt like just being in community and helping people was what I needed to do. And I was
Wow.
going to be fine,
Uh-huh.
but I wasn't.
Did the
Got it.
healing help your
Wow.
family too? Because you were more outspoken, or did
Oh,
they feel
sure.
like,
Oh,
they
yeah.
did? Okay.
Yes. Now, Madeline, you can't. I mean, I remember one time we were somewhere
Mhm.
and some man stood behind my daughter and he put his hand on her head just like that. And my daughter, Madeline, instantly reacted. She was like,
Yeah.
why does this man think he can put his
Right.
hand on me, Mama?
Right. Right.
Where
right.
it took me
Yes.
my entire life
Uh-huh.
to even say something.
Of
course.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I think the data
That's
out there is so much.
powerful.
It's so much more accessible now because even like doing this video we're doing right now, this YouTube channel, people can now access data so fast. Like back then, let's be real. I mean, I'm a little older myself, so I grew up in that area at a time where you can't really just tell people, and they will even pay attention to you. You're just a kid. Oh yeah, you're not. You're making it up. It's the cartoons you're watching, right?
That's what they did
That's
to
what,
you.
right?
Yeah.
and
Wow.
that's how they manipulate the process to ignore you. And I feel like now it's so accessible. Kids, teenagers, now the moment somebody even does this, they're like, what's going on? So it's so much easier to go out there and get the access, get the help, like Safe Passage provides, to be able
Yeah.
to, you know, be more of a community, people to be
Yeah.
connected, versus like there's nobody that exists like that. Where versus right now it's very common, right?
Mhm.
And actually, to add to you know what Trisha's story, so Safe Passage, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like when you started this, actually, when did you start it exactly? Do you remember the year?
I remember the year. Yes. Yes. So it was 1993.
Oh my
Okay.
God, amazing.
That's
in
when
the
I started
90s.
it in
Wow.
my home first.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, my husband and I, we took in
Yes.
a woman and their 2 kids into our home.
Wow.
We
wow,
started
wow.
then. And then I actually incorporated in 2000.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
incorporated it in a process.
That's
Wow.
beautiful. And you know what I think? I feel like in the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
obviously things were starting to change. People were getting to talk more. There was like the new
Yeah.
channels where people were calling for the suicide hotlines. All those things were really starting to open. I remember seeing
Right.
things about that.
Mm.
There was more recognition about
Yes.
problems coming out. I almost feel like you almost were a pillar to that movement.
Right.
Because Safe Passage in the 90s, think about today now.
Oh my gosh.
That today
Right.
now there's a lot of them now.
Right.
Right. There's a lot of
Yes,
companies
definitely,
trying to do the
definitely.
same thing. Are they successful? Obviously, it's all a
Mhm.
trivial, but
Yeah.
how do you feel knowing that you could have actually created that movement?
As a matter of fact, I know I did because
Oh, love this.
15 years,
Yes.
I
She did it.
keep
She
a
did it.
secret anymore.
Right here, right here.
And
I haven't won.
Yes.
I'm the pioneer.
No
of
way.
it.
Oh my
I knew it. How come I
God.
felt
So
They
honored.
recognize
Oh
me
my
with the awards
goodness.
for
This is so
pioneer.
beautiful.
Wow.
I'm one of the
Oh my
first pioneers
God.
to speak
Wow.
out against molestation and abuse and that stuff. I was the very first.
Wow.
Everybody else is like,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and then I was involved with the very first documentary called The Dirty Little Secret.
Wow.
A friend
Oh
of
my
mine,
God.
we both work in the Upper Hollywood, and
Yes.
we met each other set, and he said, and I shared something, and he knew that I had some background in abuse because I was
Yes.
working in Hollywood, and said we were
Uh-huh.
both working on, and we started, he went out and wanted to do his own documentary because he met a waitress that he saw in this restaurant, and this waitress, he really loved her. He wasn't interested as a mate. He respected her, her service, her kindness, her love.
Yes. Yes.
And she started opening up to him and talking about the abuse and how she feels
Wow.
like she wants to kill herself
Oh
because she
my
can't live with
gosh.
the thought. Because that's what happens. A lot of these
Right.
people
Mhm.
end up committing suicide because
Mhm,
they can't
mhm, right.
live with the pain
Yes.
that they're going through.
Right.
And so we started the first documentary about domestic violence called The Dirty Little Secret.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
was the makeup and hair person. I was the one helping, mentoring
Oh my
them to
gosh.
talk because it was very emotional for them to talk
Most
on
definitely.
camera.
Most
Very
definitely.
I bet.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And we did a couple of big premieres, but then Hollywood wanted to shut it down because they
Mhm.
didn't want it. They didn't want it.
Yes, I heard
Of
about
course.
this, that they
Yeah.
were trying to shut this down, this documentary. And that actually brings me to another one of my questions. You both are so brave to do the work that you do
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this type of work also, you're protecting women, kids, men,
just all that.
everybody, everyone.
Everyone.
And by doing that again, which is really strange and unfortunate that there is backlash from huge places like Hollywood, and you guys are actually
Yeah.
working Hollywood, the Beverly Hills area, all this Los Angeles area.
Yeah.
One of the main places that is talked about when it comes to abuse, you guys are heading it straight on. How do you guys deal with that type of backlash? I mean, you're doing something good for the community. You're making documentaries. You're trying to get it out there. And then you have people like, we can't even say their names, Hollywood, whoever they are, executives or whatever, and they're just shutting you down. Like, how do you deal with that when you guys work so hard to help these individuals?
Well, let me tell you.
It's just,
Nowadays, I know. Let me tell you something. So you guys are new in this
Okay.
field, but this is it.
Yes.
Because of my strength and my team and
yes,
my board and
yes,
people I've met in Hollywood and out of Hollywood, all my years, and that's why you got to read my book.
Yes.
Discover the Mind of Steel. It'll show you how
Discover
I
the
graduated.
Mind
Can we
of Steel.
have
I
that?
don't get put down anymore.
Mm.
Yes.
Now the carpet is rolled out to me every time now.
Wow.
Because if you notice,
Mhm.
some of these people, there's a lot of celebrities out there that
Yes.
have done it.
Right.
I got to talk with Halle Berry when she went through a domestic violence thing and
Wow.
she spoke out about it.
Yes.
I got to talk to Marissa Haggertag, who started. She has her own TV show.
Yes.
That's
NYPD.
the cop.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, I got connected with so many
Wow.
celebrities that were dealing with that. Christina Aguilera,
Oh
the
my
famous
goodness.
artist.
Yes.
Oh,
uh-huh.
she
Wow.
showed up on a big video on
Oh
one of
my
my
God.
events because
Wow.
she was raised and molested and abused by her dad.
Oh my
Wow.
So
goodness.
all of a sudden, see what happened is when I did that dirty little secret
Yes.
thing, and just because they shut that down, they weren't going to shut this down.
Mhm.
Oh
Not
my
this
God.
This mouth is not going to shut. So I kept going out knocking that door, and I kept calling agents
Wow.
and saying, "Oh,
Wow.
I heard. I just saw that so and so was in a domestic violence
Uh-huh.
relationship. Please give me her agent. I think she'd be great to come and speak at my charity event."
Wow.
See, that's what my charity events do. They bring
Wow.
awareness, but they also raise funds to help these women
Beautiful.
to be the best they can be. It's like they're paying it forward.
Of
And that's
Oh,
why
wow.
I'm here. I'm trying to give
Yes.
people, any of you that are watching it, this is a time, if you're
Yes.
stuck and you want to get out, call Safe Passage. If you are interested in supporting, all you got to do is just call us, and I would have a private phone conversation with you. Your name doesn't have to be said or anything, but this is a time to pay it forward. These are your women, your friends, your sister. It could be your sister, it could be your mom, it could be your child, it could be your best friend. Somebody's going through something like this, and this is a safe place,
Yes.
a safe passage for them.
That is
And
so
I
wow.
just
I
thank
love
you that you
that.
have me
No,
because
that is so beautiful.
it's really it's booming. We just
Oh,
opened up an
yes.
office in San Diego.
Amazing.
And we're planning
Congratulations.
on one in Phoenix and Las
Wow.
Vegas.
Oh my goodness.
And
Yes.
we have our representative in New York.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
love this.
So we're just
Wow.
spreading the word out because the way we do things, it's so personalized.
This is so
every
personal.
every
Oh my
soul that
goodness.
comes
Yes.
through my door, we
Right.
personalize their journey
Oh my goodness. Yes.
to the healing.
Yes.
We're not a cattle call, you know, where
Yes.
you're looking one time. No,
Mhm.
this is, and we don't get government funding, so we get to do whatever we want with the funds to give these women what they truly
Fantastic.
This is so beautiful. And so Janet, you would be one of these individuals who came in to help, but not in that process. You were also you came in to help other individuals, but in that process, you were able to help yourself as well.
Yeah.
You
I was
know,
in
you
denial.
got it. Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
maybe a lot of individuals out here might, be in denial, and you just have to have that strength. And again, yours was your daughter,
Oh yeah.
but I'm sure, also the individuals around you as well, hearing their stories, you were able to share
yeah.
yours.
She's brought quite a few friends and
Wow.
people to us, and this
Oh my God.
she she's one of the best stories because she was also one of the most stubborn. Hold on, she didn't want to share.
Yes,
You see what
okay.
happened? People don't want to deal with shame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
And that's
right.
just the false.
No, yeah.
Those are the
Judgment.
false
Mhm.
feelings.
Yeah.
That's what the enemy. That's what people want you to feel.
Right,
They want you to feel like you're a failure or shame
right, yes,
or you're
right, yes.
No, you're gonna fight that way.
Yes,
You're
Exactly.
confident.
Oh my
That's
God,
right.
yes.
I may have been a victim, but now I'm a victorious.
Yes,
I know
yes.
who I am. I
Right.
overcome
Right,
all those lies. I've overcome
Yes.
all those, accusations.
yes.
No, and that's what she is.
Wow,
So she's
Janet,
got
amazing.
proof with this family.
Yes,
Her
yes.
beautiful
Oh
daughter.
my God, beautiful.
She started
Yes.
raising money for me at the age of 4.
Wow.
She's out there like,
Oh
guys,
my
save
God.
Patrick, yeah. We're
Yes.
gonna save all these kids.
Oh
We're
my
gonna
God.
help them get better. You know?
Yes,
love this.
yes.
And
This
her
is so
husband's right
beautiful.
behind her.
Oh my
Husband,
God.
Janet, you go.
Love
You go.
this. Love this
Go.
so much.
They think I'm
Yes.
crazy.
Oh
No,
my
it
God.
it takes crazy to do the work that we do.
Yes, it does. We say that all the time, even in our
It
line of work,
does.
whatever we're doing. We're like, hey, we're crazy. He's like, yeah, but it's needed. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? And I'm like,
You know what?
Mhm.
Crazy is a compliment in our family.
Yes,
Because we were
okay.
so sick of people calling us
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah.
That now when we say that, it's a compliment
Mhm,
in our
exactly,
family.
yes.
But this is actually why we're here.
Right.
Because look, people that are in the foundation space, entrepreneurial space, they're growing all this money, but it's not for us. It's really to help all these people.
Yes.
Right? When you're an entrepreneur, it's all about money and you're
Right.
because you're building your brand and
Yes,
your business
right.
and you're just, you want to get to this success.
Exactly.
And,
Right.
and so
right,
for us,
right.
we're really trying to make sure that we collaborate with entrepreneurs that are just as philanthropic to help and support. Because if you have philanthropic crazy and you have
Yes.
entrepreneurship crazy and
Yes.
you mesh them together,
Oh,
and
I love
Latinos,
this.
imagine
Oh my
what
God.
we get to do together.
I
It's
love
like,
this.
that
This
is-
is like the best.
This
This
is
is
like
the
a
best.
festival.
Yes, right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes. Oh
So
my
that's
God.
what-
Yes. I love that
That's
so
what we
much.
see.
Yes.
And you know what? All those
Uh-huh.
events, like we met you guys at a bunch of different events. We've seen you
Yes.
guys at a bunch of different
Uh-huh.
events. And it was so crazy because it's like I'd go to these events and I wouldn't tell people what I did for a living because I really felt like I was still going through so much.
Got it.
Right? I
Yes.
was adjusting a lot of things.
Right.
But I could go into a room now and I could just like look at people and just see her trauma is sexual abuse.
Got
Her
it.
trauma is domestic violence. Her
Wow.
trauma is
Wow.
his is this,
Yeah.
his is that.
Yeah.
And there were so
Mhm.
many times where I just felt like I just wanted to listen.
Mhm.
And because all of a sudden oh, I'm going to build this business. I'm going to do this and I'm going to be so successful. And my brand and like everything
Yes,
is about like,
right.
the business and the success.
Exactly.
And I'm just like,
right.
oh my God, my heart hurts for you.
No,
Like
yes.
you're a mess.
Right.
And then all of a
Right.
sudden, after the
Mhm.
events, I'd get phone calls like,
Of
"Oh my
course.
gosh, Janet! Oh, Janet!"
Yes.
And it's crazy because we can't tell people who we've helped
Mhm.
because they're not
Mhm.
ready.
Yes.
You know, I see what they're doing out there in the entrepreneurship world and doing what they're doing, but behind the scenes, they're calling us and they're going
Yeah.
through our program, and
Yes.
you know, and so there's times where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm working, and then all of a sudden I get messages like I'm in the ER.
Wow.
I get pictures of like women, people, black and blue,
Oh my goodness.
like, and you're just, oh my goodness.
Wow.
So
Wow.
there is time, you know. So entrepreneurs do get to connect and collaborate with people that are working on foundations, because
Mm-hmm.
like I run my business, but
Yes.
the majority of the stuff that we do with Safe Passage has always been pretty much almost volunteer work.
You
Wow.
know what's interesting?
Wow.
While I've been sitting here, I've been thinking about the people that I know, or I'm sure you got ladies are doing the same thing. I don't think I know more than every other third person that hasn't had some kind of abuse.
Yeah.
Because most of our friends will tell us about something they've been through, or people that we work with,
Right.
or associate with, and
Mhm.
it's so more common than I ever thought.
Right.
Especially speaking with both of you about how hard it is for people to really find access for like help.
Yes.
And even then, not even that, like, you know how you were being stubborn, right? So many people are so stubborn
That's true.
to even try it, and they blockade it, they block it out, and they just live on with their lives and don't realize that they might repeat that same cycle
That's true.
because they never let it out, right?
Right.
So you have that abusive dad that now the son might, because it's in the back, it's so closed, they're going to end up being abusive because that's all they know. That's what they think is right, because they never got to speak with somebody. So I know, speaking with both of you, it's so difficult for people to come out and say it, like just as much as you were like, I got
Yes.
nothing wrong with me.
Right.
No,
Right.
it's so many people that we know that really had it.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
even if we talk
Right.
about things like
Of
that of
course,
our own
of
past,
course,
like, we've
yes.
been through some stuff.
Yes. Mhm,
But it's
mhm.
just insane how the statistics are of how many people really need your help.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
One
Or
in
how
five.
many people
Yes.
need it.
1 in 5.
You're at a table, one
Wow.
in 5 has
Wow.
experienced something.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
But you
That
want
is
to know
wild.
something, like to
Yes.
give these people grace if some people don't want to say something? It's really because they're not just protecting even that one person, right? Like what could happen?
Mhm.
They're protecting a lineage,
Mhm.
because then they're living in the actual reality.
Mhm.
Like knowing that, oh my God, that person is capable of this. You've just completely shifted my entire reality, and I'm not ready to face that. So
Mhm.
lots of times that's why people don't say anything, like, because
Mhm.
like for me, I didn't want to hurt people around me.
Right.
I didn't.
Right.
And sometimes they look at it like I hurt them
By saying the truth.
by saying the
Right.
truth.
But you
Right.
know what? The truth will always set you free.
Mhm.
But it doesn't mean it doesn't come with consequences. Like that's the part I
Right.
learned the hard
Yes,
way.
It may
yes.
hurt, but it
Uh-huh.
does set you free.
Yes. Okay.
See,
Checked it.
the truth shall set you free, because the truth gets out of the lie has been stuck under so long
Mhm.
that when you say the truth, it gets out, and all of a sudden your body starts healing itself.
Wow.
It's the lie. It starts
Mhm.
healing itself. This is all these doctors will tell you that.
Mhm.
People that are unforgiving, that are angry, that are living a lie, their bodies after a while
Right.
start to shut down.
Oh yes.
I've
Right.
seen it over and over, even in my own family. It's like my sister and I are a year apart.
Mhm.
I finally stood up and told the truth and went out there, and I forgave my stepfather.
Okay.
I forgave all those who
Mhm.
hurt me, because
Mhm.
I was in a cycle. My stepfather was just the beginning of abuse.
Got it.
Yeah, and then I
Got
got a teenager and I got abused again.
Wow.
And it's a cycle. People don't realize you're in a
Wow.
cycle. When
Wow.
you leave, if you don't
Mhm.
get help and counseling
Mhm.
and get that lie out of you, and get
Yes.
all those lies and the accusations, the horrible words that have been
Yes,
spoken to
yes,
you, get it out of
yes.
you, you're going to stay in the cycle.
Mhm.
That's all your body knows right
Mhm.
now. But
Mhm.
once you get it out, it starts to set you free. You start to get healthier.
Wow.
You start to become
Mhm.
happier.
Right.
Even though you get rid, people will not want to be around. Some people won't want to be around you.
Okay.
They'll hurt.
Okay.
Let
Got
them
it.
go.
Yes.
Let them go.
Right. Okay.
This is about your journey, your healing.
Yes. Yes.
You just pray for them
Yes.
that they will come to know the truth
Mhm.
themselves,
Mhm.
and how that should make us. Obviously, there's something inside of them that they're dealing with too, and that's why they didn't receive her,
Mhm.
because they are dealing with their own
Yes.
Mhm.
lies, whatever that is. You know, everybody has
Yes.
some little stuff that's shoved under the carpet.
Of course.
Whether
Yes.
it's,
Yes.
You know, whether it's a
Mhm.
rejection or whether
Mhm.
it's anger, whatever it is,
Right.
under the carpet.
Yes.
And
So,
you're-
yeah,
exactly.
the truth is really the best thing that's going to set you
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yes,
couldn't agree
yes.
more. And your documentary, is it even accessible? I know that everybody's been blocking it out. Is it something you can access right now?
Well, there's a new documentary that's
Okay.
out.
There's a
now.
new
my
one now.
goodness.
Now,
Tell
oh
us.
yes, there's a new
Tell
one.
us.
It's called Unseen Scars. It's in the film festivals right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Unseen
Unseen scars.
Scars.
Unseen
Wow.
scars. Got it.
Wow.
And that's the scars
Oh my
unseen in your
gosh.
heart. You know,
Oh
all
my
the
gosh.
scars that's like the secret. Yeah, it's
Oh my
called
God.
Unseen Scars. I'm one of the testimony. It's about 3 women and their journey and how they took their healing and where they are today.
Wow.
And it's being aired at the film festivals
Oh my
right now.
goodness.
Okay.
Wow.
So it would be, we're believing that it's gonna
Wow.
get picked as best documentary.
Wow.
We're
my
believing for that.
goodness.
They
Wow.
just
I
believe that
believe this.
process.
Unseen
Yeah,
scars.
just like we just
Okay.
finished the Oscars,
Oh
so
my
now
gosh,
we're believing
yes.
like, okay,
Right.
well, ours is like going to the film festivals
Yes.
right
Yes.
now.
Oh.
We're just going, yeah.
Wow.
Believe me, there's
Even the
that-
name
it's
just causes a
amazing what we
movement.
could do.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
this unseen scars really relates to women from all over the world,
Mhm.
but any men, every race, because we have the interviews of men
Yes.
that know about what their life was like when they were stuck in that abusive relationship. So
Mm.
it's very touching.
Wow.
so I'm excited.
Wow.
That is
I'm
powerful.
So excited for that.
And you've written a countless amount of books. I'd love to touch on that. What are some of the
Yes.
titles of which,
Right.
and which one is your favorite? Is there one particular favorite about all the books you've written?
One particular
Book?
book. You
I
know
know.
what? Believe me, I'd have to tell you, I've had testimonies of my friends and all of that, but I have to tell you, my book, Discover the Mind of Steel,
Mm.
it's an easy
we get that?
reading book.
Discover
where
the
you
mind
can
of still.
relate to this little girl that's born in 1951 and how all the different traumas that she went through. See, before she was molested, she lost her hearing. She was put in a hearing impaired school. In the 50s, they called it deaf and dumb. You were
Oh,
called deaf
wow.
and dumb then.
No
Oh,
way.
wow.
And
No
you really
way.
would believe you were,
Oh my
you
gosh.
were dumb.
Wow.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Just
it
for
was
not
different
being
in the
able to
50s.
hear.
It was called, yeah, because I couldn't hear. I lost 70% of my hearing.
Oh my
Yeah, like,
goodness. Oh
So that's what
wow.
I'm saying. And even
Wow.
after my father dies innocent, he drowned in a lake. He got caught in the see what he done. He was a
Oh my
perfect father.
gosh. Oh my
He
goodness.
was he was like, you know,
My
a perfect,
God.
Right. Yes.
amazing man.
Yes,
And,
yes,
so
yes.
you lose your favorite. You know, I was a daddy's girl. I was his
Mhm.
firstborn. So
Mhm.
so everything that my book shared, you relate to it. I become good friends with a guy who's blind, and I become compassionate. All the kids used to bully him, and I tell the kids, get away from him. And I would take him, and I would walk this
Oh my
man who's
gosh.
blind, young boy. He's like 12 years old. He's tall, and he's blind. And I'd say, come on, what class do you need to go? And I'd make sure you get to his classroom, you know, without being bullied so
Wow.
much, you know, because
Wow.
kids today, they so mean. They
Yes.
come in and
Our son comes to, he
awful.
comes home and
Yeah.
tells
I
me all
know,
day
I
long.
know.
Right.
Even
I
to
went
this
through
day.
all that. I got
Mhm.
bullied.
Yeah.
My friends got bullied.
I got bullied.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, so
definitely,
So
definitely.
this
Yeah.
is the whole thing. So this book really it covers
Wow.
every area.
Wow.
Wow.
It covers people that are addicted to drugs. It covers
Mhm.
Hollywood. It covers
Yes, yes, everything.
I want to read it.
She's
Oh my
seen
God.
it all.
I
Oh
wonder
my
if-
God. No, we're getting that book, so let's make sure we have that written now because we are.
It feels
we
like
haven't.
a timeline.
Yeah.
So it does. It
It's-
feels like a timeline
Yeah.
from like black and white to color.
That-
You know,
yes,
like,
no,
you
it
can
Like the
really
Wizard of
does.
Oz.
No,
Yeah,
literally,
you
yeah.
You
Just-
can even picture the clothes.
Yes,
You know, and I'm
right.
like, when I
Wow.
read it, I'm all,
Oh my
Trish.
god. Yeah, no, I'm like gonna go read this tonight. Like you've already given me an insight on it, and you know it. And obviously, you know, a lot of hard times, but it's also created such powerful women in both of you too. You know, Safe Passages seems so much different than these other help centers. You guys do so many different things. Again, we're talking documentaries right now, books. We're talking so many different things, and I feel like our audience wants a little bit more insight of, you know, what happens in Safe Passages because, you know, what you were stating, Trish, is you walk in and then again, there's these runways and people, because now they're empowered, but how did they get there? You know, what are some of your guys' processes you guys go through? for that end result where when you see these women, you would never know they would have a black eye or,
Well,
you know,
never know.
Here's what's
right.
this is what's really powerful. What I love about Safe Passage is that every single person has gone through something very unique to them,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So that's why we're not cookie cutter. So when somebody comes
Right.
in, we figure out what is it that they need.
Wow.
They're in our program for about 6 months to a year.
Okay.
Because how could
Wow.
you possibly?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm still going through stuff,
Yes,
and like I've been
right.
doing this for 15
Yeah,
years.
right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
yes.
we
definitely.
minimum 6 months to a year. Some of them might need support with their teeth because they've
Mhm.
had their teeth knocked out.
Dentists,
Dental,
Oh my
Wow.
doctors.
Oh my
You
goodness.
know, some of them
Uh-huh.
counseling. Some of them need like how to be an entrepreneur. Some of them need to learn how to find a job. Some of them need just to how to go outside. So
Wow.
it's very tailored and designed for that particular
Wow.
person
Wow.
and what they're going through. Like
my
we just started
gosh.
an ambassadorship program so that we can get them to go out and
Wow.
advocate now
Okay.
for themselves and other
Wow.
people. So it's very tailored designed for the individual that's coming in.
Wow. And
Wow.
if we could continue touching on this, because you just said that, and it's hard for me to say, but you said people walk in and sometimes they have their teeth knocked out. And you are not just there to counsel them, you're also there to, hey, how do we find you the correct dentist? How do we
Correct.
find you the funding for this? Let's get you
Yeah.
back to being you again, is
Yeah.
basically what you're
Yeah.
saying. Because again, that's what I do see a lot. We're in, Los Angeles County here as we sit today. So many of these centers, again, but it is cookie cutter.
Yeah.
And, you guys are so different because, again, like you said, you're going to touch on everything from even, the way they feel from, especially from the inside, but also on the outside.
Yeah.
Of course,
right.
the outside
That's
is a
right.
lot
Hot
my
mess
God.
on the
Yes.
inside.
Yes.
If
Mhm.
these people are going to
Wow.
go out for a job interview, you want them to look the best.
Wow.
Of course.
Feel the
Wow.
best. Because that's how they get picked.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
They get picked
Right.
from your presentation.
Yes.
Yes.
Every
yes.
person wants that. And even on Zoom,
Mhm,
it's like,
mhm.
okay,
Yes.
so this is how you got to look for your Zoom presentation.
Correct.
okay?
Yes.
Everybody
yes.
wants to see a good presentation.
Absolutely.
If you go there with your teeth,
Right.
missing, and
Yeah.
it's scarred,
Oh my
they're
gosh.
kind of like, okay,
Right.
it's like people with rough backgrounds.
Mhm,
Do I want
mhm.
that?
Wow.
Yeah. See, people
Wow.
are going to judge you by your looks. They still do. They
Yes,
always will.
of course.
That's why
Yes.
we can't stop that.
Right.
But what
Right.
we can do is we can help them
Wow.
to feel good about their looks
Oh
and
my
myself.
goodness.
Listen, part of the reason I have plastic surgeons and dentists and all these fitness coaches and all that do pro bono work for St.
Wow.
Patty's because
Wow.
I'm promoting them too.
Of course.
So
Of
That's the
course.
beautiful
I love
thing
that.
about
Yes.
the collaboration
Mhm.
of different, doctors and dentists and
Mhm.
businesses, people that really want
Yes.
to pay it forward.
Right.
But I'm also promoting them and showing
Yes.
who the doctor is, and what
Right.
they've done, and
Right.
everybody that comes to St. Passage
Mhm.
as a doctor, or dentist, or entrepreneur, their business rises.
Oh,
and
yes.
gets very popular.
Oh,
I
because
love that.
definitely.
I'm a good spokesperson.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. No, you guys are
Fantastic.
so
I
amazing.
cannot help. I'm so
Definitely.
grateful for what everybody's doing for
Yes.
these women.
Yes. Even
And
we.
thank you to you
No,
guys.
thank
I
you
know.
guys. I think we both wanted to say this because Janet, and both of you guys, but I know
Yeah.
Janet had introduced us, and we're not going to say names, of course, to be very private, but we were able to help with the housing and the loans
Yeah.
Yes.
for Safe Passage, one of your, partners there that you guys help. Maybe you,
And that's what we really try our best to
It's
do.
amazing.
Because even though we're a nonprofit, we're a foundation,
Mhm.
I've been an entrepreneur. I'm in business, so I
Yes.
understand the importance of the collaboration. And
Uh-huh.
so for me, I was just looking for somebody that I knew could be
yes.
powerful, that could
Yes.
relate to.
Right.
'Cause
Yes.
she was a veteran.
Of course.
And
Yes.
so I
yes.
wanted to find something that
Mhm.
that can actually that they can relate together.
Love that.
So, and on top of that,
Mhm.
I think it's important to celebrate
Mhm.
and to promote whatever you guys are working on
Yeah,
too. So I know
right.
this was a while back, and
Uh-huh.
so grateful for that. And
Yeah.
I really want to make sure we're working on collaborations, long-term
Yes.
relationships,
Right.
and just having people understand
Mhm.
what we're going through.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. It was
it's a lot.
beautiful.
It
Yeah.
took her,
yeah.
it took her almost 10 years
Wow.
to do that. And
Wow.
it took me almost a year to get her to get to that process of
Yes.
even
Yeah.
talking to somebody.
Right.
Wow.
To
Yes.
because sometimes they don't something as simple as like not even understanding their finances or their
Mhm.
bills or
Yes.
what
right.
they're paying
Oh, yes.
for. There's
Of course.
so much
Mhm.
blocking them to
Right.
even get to that place
Mhm.
of like better finances.
Right.
And she had so much equity in her home.
Of course.
And I mean, there was just so so thank you
Yeah,
for that.
no, and thank you
You're
guys for
welcome. Thank you.
introducing
Yeah.
us to her. We were able to help, a vet from,
Yeah.
Safe Passages. And I know we helped with the loan.
We did, yeah.
It was just such an amazing feeling. You connected them with one of our mortgage representatives who also is a vet. So you did exactly what you wanted to
That's
do.
right.
People who
Yep.
would actually connect. So they're able to understand each other, and then the financing through us, and then the real estate. It was so beautiful. And to know that we were helping somebody as well, for what they went through, it just was so touching every day that we were checking on this file. I mean, I was just like, we take care of all of our files, but I just had a little special heart for this one, and we were just checking like every day, making sure everything
Yeah.
went through. It was a
And I-
beautiful thing when it closed.
And like you said, Janet, it's collaborations are so important right now. Like actually being able to talk to like-minded people that are all trying to scale together. That's so important.
Mhm.
You obviously have to dig and research and make sure, because obviously you can also put people in the wrong place.
Right.
But that's so important because you don't just say, go over there, they'll take care of you. You're researching, you're making sure you're checking in. You were checking in, by the way.
Oh my God, I
You
was.
kept
I
checking
was.
in.
Oh,
Is it
yeah.
happening? Is it
Yes,
good?
yes,
Is she in the right
definitely.
place? Is everything going to work out?
Yes.
But that's such a great thing because you care. You
Mhm.
care about their final outcome. It's not like
That's right.
we helped you,
Mhm.
there you go, and then
Right.
you don't remove yourself. You don't
Oh,
remove
right.
yourself from it.
Oh, yes.
You keep
But
yourself
what?
moving.
I care about you
Yes.
guys too. You know,
Thank
like I
you.
want people to really
Yes.
understand that. Like I care about these businesses.
Yes,
Like I know what it
yes.
takes to build a business.
Mhm.
And listen, growing a foundation is harder than growing a business.
Right.
Right.
Because the money that we're raising isn't for us, you know, it really
Mhm.
is for so many of the resources we need for them.
Yes.
So my ask to people is always like, how can we collaborate in business? Because
Right.
if I can get a little bit more support in business so that I can help these foundations,
Yes.
like that's really the big thing. And that's something that you guys are
Wow.
doing.
Thank
So,
you. Thank
you know,
so
the
much.
importance of that collaboration in business
Mhm.
for the foundations is so
Mhm.
important. Like I don't
Yes.
want to be just that person that's just asking for money and donations. No, like I
Right.
want to help you build your business so that we can collaborate something long term
I
together.
love that.
Powerful.
So
powerful.
we're gonna be concluding
Yes.
real soon. So guys, just want to appreciate you guys for watching this. So Safe Passage Heals, Janet, Trish, what's the best place for people to get information from both of you?
It would probably be the website, and it's just a beautiful website, Safe Passage Hills. That's HEALS.org. O-R-G. So safepassagehills.org. And just go to the website. You get to, it's very beautiful and testimonials and everything. And don't forget the give page and the donate page. Even if you can become a $25 a month, you know, you're really making a difference.
So
I love this.
Anything else, Janet?
Call to collaborate.
Yes. Love this. Love this.
Guys, I really appreciate you guys for joining in today. We're gonna release these reels, and ladies, seriously, thank you. You actually made me feel like, wow, like I can even share some of this passion you both have into my own business
Yes.
of how to
yes.
listen more and
Right.
understand even my own people. So thank you for
Yes,
that.
definitely. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are changing the world. Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Much love,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.